hard. So it was good. I'm proud of them. They came out to play, and I think it was really kind of just relaxing and getting into a groove.
I was just a starter, you know. You guys go ahead.
All right. Yeah, Robert Zayas from D3Hoops.com. You know, you guys obviously Superior, very gritty, tough team.
Yeah.
How important was it to come in with an edge? That's obviously something you all have done really well throughout this year as well. How important was it to come in with that edge today, kind of set the tone early?
Well, one thing this team has done all year is played really well on the road. In fact, I think we are almost better on the road than we are at home sometimes. Yeah, they know what I'm talking about. And we've traveled a lot. I mean, our conference, the travel is, I mean, I know you guys are pretty spread out here, too, in the Midwest, but, I mean, we play back-to-back nights, and our shortest road trip's 3.5 hours. So the mindset of just, you know, you got to show up. And, you know, and this has been the goal all year, is just to get here and to try and make a little bit of a run. And so these guys they've brought it all year. So in our league, I mean, we down the stretch, I mean, we had to play some tough games and some tough opponents, and I think it made us better. So even when we knew how to respond to a run, which there was some times during the season where we didn't, but I think the travels this year, you know, played a lot of really good teams on the road and at home, out of conference. I think that helped us grow up a lot, which we needed. We were a young team last year.
And Lindsay, for you, obviously, you know, 4 assists tonight, 17 assists for y'all as a team. How important was that ball movement to, you know, y'all shoot over 50% from the field, but this group, you guys move the ball so well to create those open shots for your teammates?
Yeah, ball movement's extremely important to us. I think
Yeah.
we just love sharing the ball, and that's when we play our best. So, yeah, getting those touches in and getting looks from it is what we like to do.
Anything, Corinne, those and ones that you had, I think, you know, I think in the second quarter you had 2 of them, and obviously a couple later on in the game, but just being able to create some of that momentum that way, how important is that over the course of the game? You know, again, as y'all, at that point, you guys kind of started to establish a lead, really.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, like, huge shout out to the rest of the team, because we definitely, like, foul each other in practice and really hold on to each other. My sister especially, she guards me a lot. So she just doesn't hold back, which is great. Helps me be able to finish, you know, with that contact and get those kind of and ones. But something else we've realized this year, and a little bit like in the second half of conference, was like if we can find anything to be hype about, then like that keeps our momentum and kind of jump starts it a little bit. So we pick something silly, like somebody tips a ball out of bounds, you know, or just gets a touch on something, we'll be like, yeah, that's so awesome. So that really like helps us get going, and we learn if we've got that, like everything else will come.
And for both of y'all, obviously this is a group, you know, starting 5, you're all seniors, you've been playing together for a long time. How much fun has that been, and also how does that help out on the floor? Because it just seems pretty noticeable watching y'all that there is that chemistry there that's a little bit deeper, that's been formed over several years at this point.
Yeah, what we always like to say is, like, we're not a team, we're a friend group. Like, these are all my best friends, and whether we're playing basketball or watching a movie or whatever, I'm always with them. And, you know, the chemistry is super strong, and that's what I think our strongest attribute is. It's what makes us so good is I know they have my back and I have theirs, so.
Yeah, definitely. We have like played on, like this group hasn't always played together. Like we have one girl who transferred in. We like have had other people who are older than me and Lindsay that we played with, but we've like always been able to come together, and I feel like this year it's like all the work we've been putting in is just really showing now, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
They know each other so well, sometimes they forget to call shot. I think they have ESP. They heard about that tonight.
Question for you, Coach. I think it's safe to say that you're no stranger to the big dance, and so I'd like to ask you kind of how your experience playing in the NCAA tournament and coaching, and how that translates to your coaching styles and your preparation for your game plan, especially for some of your younger players on the team, how you could kind of share some of that experience with them and get them in the right mental state for the game.
Well, I think, you know, the four seniors that have been here before were in 22 and 23. Then Christiane obviously wasn't with us; she transferred in. So for our sophomores, who I think one of the things that really hurt us last year was we just didn't. Our bench wasn't ready to compete, you know, consistently. So one of the things we really tried to do this year was really empower our sophomores And I think you saw that a little bit tonight. They think they feel really comfortable playing with these guys. But when you get here, everybody's good. Every game's intense. You have to adjust to not only the atmosphere but the officiating. You gotta, you've got to have some maturity about things. And so, I think that's one thing these guys know from past experiences is you got to be resilient. And so that's something I think that our younger kids needed to learn. I think they figured that out tonight. I was really proud of how some of them responded tonight to some adversity and me getting on them about things they were supposed to know that were in the scouting report. So a couple of them kind of got called out and they responded. And that's what you have to have. Any team at this level at this point is gonna make you pay for mistakes. And so you try to minimize mistakes. And I think that's one thing we talk about all year is we really rely on our consistency defensively, and we like to share the ball. So even though Corinne put up big numbers tonight, that's not always the case. And I think I don't think anybody would say she was selfish at all tonight. She got some great looks from her teammates and she created some great shots for herself. But when she's one-on-one in the post, she better go score. She's going to hear about it. So anyway, so I think that's a mentality, and I hope. I know these guys have talked a lot about their experiences in the past tournaments, and now that the young kids have been here, they can now understand what it's all about. It's special. It's hard to get here, and it's something you got to embrace and enjoy. You got to have some fun, and I thought tonight they had some fun.
And Coach, just one more for you too. Obviously, you mentioned y'all's conference schedule.
Yeah.
And you guys play those back-to-backs.
Yes.
You obviously set up now for another back-to-back. It's a little different at NCAA tournament situation.
Yeah.
But can you take away some things because maybe compared to some other programs that play a few days apart, you guys are used to these back-to-back situations and game planning and approaching
Oh, yeah.
from that standpoint.
Yeah, we always approach everything. We don't know how not to play back-to-back. So the Northwest Conference always is a Friday, Saturday, and in the end, I think it benefits our kids because they understand we're gonna enjoy this. But now we got to sit down and we got to adjust. Coaching staff knows how to do it. We're really hoping to get past this game, so we've already kind of started working on those scouts for these two opponents. But it's just how we do things, and we get up the next day and shift gears, and that's just how it is. So we try to prepare them for all three a little bit this week, but obviously until you kind of see people in person, it's different. So. Yeah, our travel, if it does anything, it prepares us for this. It does nothing else good. But we're ready for this, I guess.
Anything else?
Sure, yeah. One more. You brought up a great point about preparation
Mhm.
and your experience in the conference playing back-to-back games. And I have a question for the players, Lindsay and Corinne. Just curious, because you have some experience playing in the NCAA tournament as well. Just curious as to how you're able to kind of just prepare your team for these first-round matchups. Sometimes it could be a little nerve-wracking to play that first game and just get that first game under
Yeah.
your belt, especially with the win. So I'd just like to know how you kind of keep your team under control and keep them focused on the next game.
Yeah, I think we've been actually just really good about that all season. We've been working on doing yoga before games and just some mindset reset kind of things.
I don't lead the yoga. That's not my thing.
I'll lead the yoga. It's all my ass. But
So,
I think we've just been really good about, especially before this game, we came together and just remembered why we're here and what we're doing and why we deserve this. And being centered on that really calms us down and gets us ready to go.
Yeah. I would also add that when I get a little nervous, I try to turn it outwards and be like, Lindsay, you're super amazing at this, or I try and focus on my other teammates instead and be like, hey, Carly, nobody can guard you, so really just hyping up my other teammates really takes my mind off of thinking about what I'm doing, and then also empowers them too. So it's it's more of a fun culture to play in.
after you pass the yoga,
Yeah.
it's all the assistants. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
No.